Okay, so let's make the bean stitch. So the bean stitch is a stitch pattern that uses a series of loops into the same stitch. It's not a hard pattern to learn, but I'll show you how I do it. So go ahead and start by making yourself a slip knot and placing that on your crochet hook. Now what I'm using here is this is a yarn that I received from Knit Crate. It is a wool based yarn, but you can use any type of yarn as long as you make sure you use the corresponding crochet hook. So go ahead and make yourself a chain in an odd number. And then once you have that chain completed, you're going to count over 3 spaces from the hook. So in the third space, you're going to act as if you're going to do a single crochet stitch and insert your crochet hook, pull up a loop, and then give it a little pull. You'll have 2 loops on your crochet hook at this point. You're going to then yarn over and then insert the hook back into the same stitch. So then you'll go back through the same stitch again, and then now you'll have 4 loops on that crochet hook. You're going to yarn over again and then insert your crochet hook back into that same exact stitch. And now you have 6 loops on your crochet hook. Once you have 6, you're going to yarn over and pull through all 6 loops. Now this is the little tricky part. If you don't give yourself enough tension, if you don't make it loose enough, you'll yarn over, do a single crochet stitch, and that is your first bean. Okay, now you're going to skip 1 stitch, and then into that next one we're going to repeat that same pattern. Insert your crochet hook into that stitch, pull up a loop. So it's like you're going to do a single crochet stitch, but you're not going to complete it. You're going to yarn over again, and I'm pulling it because you want it to be loose. Pull through, yarn over again, okay, into the same stitch. You see what I'm doing there with the yarn? And now you should have 6 loops on your crochet hook. Yarn over, pull through all 6 loops, and then you're going to yarn over just like you're going to do a single crochet stitch and complete that stitch, and you have created another bean. Skip a stitch and let's do it again. Okay, insert your crochet hook, and this is called pulling up a loop. So you're going to yarn over a little bit there, pull that back through. Okay, now you have 2 loops. Yarn over again, insert it back into the stitch, pull through, and then we're going to do it one more time for a total of 6 loops on our crochet hook. See there? 6. Yarn over and then pull through all 6 loops, create a single crochet stitch, and there's your other bean. And this is really cute and fun. So I'm going to do another one for you on camera so that you can see it. Now the trick with this is you want to make sure you do a loose foundation chain because you're going to be working back through it and you don't want it to be tight. So if you want to use a larger crochet hook for the foundation chain and then use a smaller one, that could help if you know that you have a tight stitch. Okay, insert, and as you start working it, that yarn, when you go back through the stitch, the yarn is exactly where it needs to be. You don't have to actually physically move the yarn around the crochet hook. Okay, so pull it through. You're going to make your single crochet stitch. So do you see that? Into the next one. So you're basically doing a bean stitch, you're skipping a stitch, and then you're doing another bean stitch. So I'm going to keep going. I've gone off camera a little bit. Excuse me. And now I'm going to show you kind of what it looks like when you get closer to the end. Okay. See what I'm doing there? Yarn over, insert the hook again, and I'm just tugging the crochet hook up a little bit. Just giving them that little wiggle allows the stitches to loosen up some, so that way when you go to pull through all 6 loops, it's not going to be that difficult. And honestly, this crochet hook that I have here is amazing because it has a little bit of a point on the end, so it makes it really easy to get in smaller stitches. And I'll leave the link to what this one is. I think it's a Susan Bates. I love this one. See what it looks like? That looks like little coffee beans to me. Okay, so in that very last stitch, so you skipped one, you should have one left. You're going to do the same exact thing that you've been doing for the entirety of the row. Okay. So continue doing that, and then I'm going to show you what we do when we get to the second row. It's a little out of focus. Sorry guys, this camera's been acting funny in terms of focus lately. Okay, so once you get to the end of the row, okay, you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to turn your work. And now let's look at this real quickly. When you pull your bean stitches a little bit, you'll see a hole kind of right next to the bean stitch. That is where we're going to put our next bean stitch. So if you kind of pull it apart a little bit, you'll see a little bit of a gape or a little hole. That's where you're going to want to put your stitch, okay? If you don't put it there, then it doesn't make the cool zigzag pattern. So you'll go ahead and start the whole process of making the bean stitch. So you'll insert your crochet hook, pull up a loop, yarn over. You'll do that 3 times for a total of 6 loops on your crochet hook. Once you get the 6, you'll pull through all 6. I'll show you here. Pull through all 6 and then create a single crochet stitch to kind of seal everything together. And then we're going to go into that next gaping area, that next stitch area. You see it there? Now this yarn allowed it to be seen very easily. I have not done this stitch with like a Bernat yarn, so you may have to look a little harder for that stitch. But this yarn was really easy to work with. Okay, and I'll do it. I think I'm going to do it one more time on camera for you. A few more times. Okay, so I just, So anyway, the bean stitch itself is pretty simple. You just want to remember to do 6 loops on your crochet hook. That creates the bean. When you get to your second row, you want to just make sure when you pull it apart a little bit, it looks kind of like a V or a little space. You want to make sure you put your crochet hook right into that space. See it right there? And that's pretty much it. That's your project. You decide how wide you want it, how long you want it. Remember, you're going to do this in a chain of odd numbers. And I think it's a really cute little stitch. It's a good clustered stitch. I think it works well. If you want to maybe do a baby blanket with it, something small. Purse would be probably cool with this project. Okay, so here I'm going to work at the very end, the very last area. You're going to do another bean stitch. That's how we're going to finish off the project. And then once you have those 6 loops like we did before, you're going to yarn over, pull through, and create that single crochet stitch. Go ahead and cut your work, cut your yarn, leaving enough of a tail to weave through. And you're going to just tie it off and secure it. And that's it, you guys. That is your bean stitch pattern. Looks really cool, nice project, simple project, fun to make. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.